We go over. Let me start over?
Yeah, if you
Okay,
could.
cool. We just have a couple of council remarks. An executive session was held on June 8th, 2026 from 7:25 PM until 7:29 PM related to police personnel matters. Do you have any other council remarks? Jim?
Yes, I'd like to make a statement at this time. Tonight, we're gonna hopefully make a final decision on the pickleball courts down here. I've been on the fence about whether to open them, whether to not open them. I know there's a lot of interest in getting this done. We've listened to all the lawyers, we've listened to everybody, we've listened to Brady, we've listened to our engineers, we've listened to everybody about what's wrong, what will be wrong, what's gonna make them fail. And they, according to some of them, they have already failed. So, and to what point? But the only big question is, how long are they gonna fail for? Will they fail next year? Will they fail in 10 years? Will they fail in 20 years? No matter what we do down there, yeah, there is a point in time where they're gonna fail. That's a given. Yeah. So, in the meantime, I thought, I didn't know what to do, but I like to have a handle on thing going on. So, I made up my mind on Thursday night. I've been in contact. I've talked with a bunch of pickleball. There's pickleball players that play pickleball around here every day, except for Sunday. They play pickleball every day. And they were in contact with me. So I called him up and I said, have you seen the courts down here? And he said, I saw them last year, basically when they were kind of getting done and stuff. And that one I saw them. And I said, would you like to see them? Down and look at them. As a pickleball player, I want to know. I want to know what's going on down. I said, because I don't know. I've never seen any pickleball courts anywhere. Don't know. So I said, yeah, can I bring some more donors? And these are all donors that have given to this project. And there were 4 of them that come down to see me. And we met down there. Brady was there. Brady left us in. And as soon as we got there, I said, there you go, people, go look at it. I want you people to look at it and tell me if these are an acceptable pickleball. I said, what you see, what you got. They went and they just walked around and checked it out without us even saying a word. They get all the way down the end of the courts and they come back up. And they could not honestly believe why we're not playing pickleball. The words out of their mouth exactly were, these are some of the best courts in Pennsylvania. We played on courts down in Florida that are not anywhere near as nice as these courts down here. And they said, I can't believe we're not playing on these courts. So what do we have to do to get them open? I said, well, this is what we're here. I said, hopefully we can get the ball rolling, get a vote on it, get the pickleball courts open. So this is from the players. This isn't from some engineer telling us, yes, they're gonna fail. They may not. I know in the beginning, we thought we'd pay for professional quality championship pickleball. We did not get professional quality pickleball. No, we did. But we got very, very playable pickleball courts that, again, according to them, are some of the nicest courts in Pennsylvania that you would ever play. So, I took that upon myself. I don't know where else to go. I'm tired of listening to everybody else saying, this will fail, this will fail, this will fail. Let's let the people play pickleball. Let's get them out on the pickleball courts. Brady has all the nets ready. We can get it set up. Whenever we can get it set up, and when we come to take a vote, you know where my vote's gonna go. It's gonna go to gas. And hopefully the rest of council will agree with me.
Okay, thanks, Jen. Anyone else? Okay, cool. I do have a couple of citizens to be heard. You wanna step in for Orin?
Yeah,
Okay,
yes,
in
please.
front,
Thank you.
Sure.
Restaurant.
You want me to stand or?
whatever you
sit
want,
down?
whatever you want,
I'm good.
okay.
Okay, I'm Francis Robin, owner of the Dutch Wheelman Bicycle Shop. And I have some qualms.
Okay,
First of all, the sidewalks. The other week. A person with his son were riding on the sidewalk. The policeman was out of his car, saw him, stopped him. Then, to my big surprise, they continued riding on the sidewalk as he stepped in his car. We have an ordinance, you can't be on the sidewalk. Get him to walk, please. Then the next step we need to make, and I don't know what's in the agenda, I know there's some new rules gonna be. 16 and under can't be by Pennsylvania law on an e-bike. Electric scooters by Pennsylvania law are not allowed on any public road.
Mhm.
Why do we have laws if the laws are not gonna be taken care of?
I agree, and I don't think.
I have a big qualm about this. We need to get these kids off the street. A gentleman came in for an e-bike for his 12-year-old son. I said, sir, I can't sell you an e-bike. By law, 16 and over. He walked out of the store without an e-bike. We need to clamp down,
I agree,
please.
I agree. Chief, you wanna speak?
Sure, that gentleman that you're talking about, the officer did talk to probably 10 people that day. He talked to the grandfather and the grandson there, told them can't ride it on the street, can't ride it on the sidewalks, to walk it to where you're going to. They were going down to the park. Did he know that when he turned around to walk back to his car that they were gonna get in?
He saw him right away.
Okay, so he saw him right away. Would you have him chase him down the street?
No, he saw him riding away on the sidewalk and got in his car and just threw it away.
Okay. But again,
It's
he
not
talked to
good.
them. He's never talked to those two individuals before, so it's his discretion whether or not he's gonna seize the item, cite the person. I'm not gonna take that away from an officer. He's doing what I asked him to. He's up on Main Street, talking to people, being visible, trying to cut down on the scooters, on the sidewalks. I think that's a good thing. It's unfortunate that they got on the e-bike and the scooter and they drove away.
That's very unfortunate.
It is. But again, my officers are on Main Street more. Last year I met with DBI and they wanted to see more officer presence. Well, I have officers up there. They're stopping people on sidewalks, on the scooters. Hopefully here in the near future, we have an ordinance that's gonna help us seize some of those.
Because
It's an issue. It's an issue all over town.
why?
They are
don't
there.
Enforce the laws.
We do enforce the laws.
I'm not sure.
So, okay, can I talk now?
Yeah, first.
So I'm Carrie Smith. I'm here. Gordon could not be here tonight. He asked me to step in. I am a business owner on Main Street and also president of Downtown Wilkesburg Inc. We met last year. I was part of that group that met with police twice, actually. Once at the exchange, once here. Maybe there's been a little more enforcement since then. I am on Main Street from Wednesday until Sunday. And I haven't seen much more presence on Main Street than we did last year. But I appreciate that they're there. Because I see them sometimes. I don't see them as much as we would like, but I know that we're just a small area and I get that. I haven't seen them a lot more. What frustrates us is, and I'm so thankful that we're gonna do an amendment for the e-scooters and e-bikes because someone is going to get hurt. We witnessed it way too many times. My issue is the lack of enforcement because we've seen skateboards, we've seen bicycles, and I know that they can be confiscated. We've talked about them being confiscated and maybe they have, but it seems to be the same kids repetitively. And they're the ones that are causing havoc. Now, I will say, it's not as bad as it was. So I am thankful for you guys for that. It's not like it was. Before they would come out, they were belligerent, they would yell profanities. I've not seen that in the last, really since the weather got nice and now they can be out again. I haven't seen that, so I'm hopeful that that's gone. Because there's been some police officers, I really don't see a lot. I see traveling on Main Street, like, in their cars, I see that. I don't see a ton on the streets. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I'm thankful that you guys are looking at it. All of you are looking at it and trying to make a change. But we definitely have to keep on this upward because it was bad. And when people wouldn't come into town because of it, and now, there's been multiple occasions where the e-bikes, you and I stood outside one time and I don't even know how fast they were going down the side.
They don't watch
Very fast.
anything, they go through red lights, they
Yeah.
go through stop
So-
signs, all of it.
Having that amendment, I think, is huge, but I'm hopeful that the enforcement of that with the ordinance that we already have will just continue to gain, and then some of those people can be weeded out. So thank you for that. It's been very stressful.
Is there like
It really
certain
is.
timeframes where this happens, or is it just
Because-
very?
All day long.
Yeah, I don't,
All
when I'm
day
on Main
long.
Street from Wednesday until Sunday, like it's Wednesday, we're not there till 4 or 5 o'clock. Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, and first Fridays when it's so crowded, that's when they really come out. So it's anytime something's going on, the only time that there's not been an issue is block party. And that's because police are straight
Yeah.
across,
Fair
well,
enough.
they're parked in the alley right next to Livick Civil, so
Yeah.
they're parked right there. And so when I'm staying outside, we don't see them at all. So that's like the only day that I don't have any issues, but
I had an issue with the kids, and
you did.
at Renaissance.
Oh, yes, Renaissance was terrible.
Boy, he came to the corner, I said, the road is closed today, please go up the alley, go around there, you can get anywhere in Main Street. He says, I don't know Main Street, I don't live here, he walked by me, jumped on his e-bike and just
Well, and that's what they
full
do.
force through the people.
Yeah. And that's what they're doing, or, well, I just taught you, the thing that got us was a couple of them, we just talked to a police officer and they didn't do anything about it. So then how can we tell them to get off of your, whatever they're on? So that's, I think, where the stressful part is, and who knows, they're kids, they could have.
Well, that's just the thing. I can guarantee you that if they talk to a police officer, they're not saying, hey, go ahead and go about your business.
They're not saying that,
That's what they're telling us.
but I think that
And
if
they're
we
gonna
don't,
continue.
if it's not confiscated, maybe that is, I don't know what the answer is. But if they can just leave and get on it, then they're feeling like, well, the police don't
Yeah.
care, so why do you care?
Understood.
So,
I get it. I live down by the pool and I am terrified that somebody's gonna get injured because they blow through the stop signs. Yep. And
They went,
12th Street is heavily traveled, whether people like to believe it or not. Like, we
It
have the
is.
pool, we have the dog park. And I'm just terrified somebody's gonna get killed.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate what you're seeing and I have some backup, but yeah, no, it's great.
Jared, do you wanna?
Yeah, so I think there's another angle in regards to this too, just not our police here. So I know for a fact, and I'm friends with Dan Lynn, the DA here, I'm friends with him. But he typically doesn't follow through with charges on juveniles. That's half the problem.
Yeah.
There was an issue at my laundromat on West Main Street, probably 2 or 3 months ago. With the same juveniles on these e-bikes, they went in, somebody decided to dump a can, somehow they found of cream corn all over my counter. Then proceeded to take a baseball bat and sling it everywhere. Well, it was easier for me just to call the police. We know who the kids are. Just go and clean it up. And they did, and the one mom went nuts on her daughter, which I've never seen the daughter again. Good for the parent. But I think that a lot of the problem necessarily isn't the police doing the enforcement, because they are, and I see the cops all the time now. But there's no sense in filing charges, wasting time, a cop going to court for overtime. Now the town pays 6 hours of straight time for a cop then for the charges to be dropped at county because the DA won't do it. And I honestly think, and maybe Chief disagrees a little bit, but that's a lot of the problem. If the charges for a fact are gonna get dropped, what's the point then in spending man hours when they could be doing enforcement downtown? You know, I think, and I've had issues with the kids too, you know, they loiter at the laundromat. For what reason? I don't know, but it's aggravating to everybody, but I think that we, personally, I think, and I've spoke with Dan more about it, but I think that we should put some more pressure on the district attorney to prosecute the kids and follow through with the charges and the parents at that rate.
Very good.
At that rate, if you guys wanna prosecute parents, fine. I mean, kids, fine, but then where the hell are the parents? You know, and I get they're working, I understand that, but it's. Someone needs to be held responsible for, somebody's gonna get killed, right? And that's the only time we're gonna see change.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's sad.
Yeah.
But
Terrible.
instead of being proactive, we need to be proactive instead of waiting for a death, a car accident.
Absolutely. Hit and run.
What happens, I have a question, I don't remember, we talked about this, what happens when something is confiscated though? You're not pressing charges on them.
Yeah, we're gonna, if we get the ordinance through, eventually, once it gets done at legal. What we're gonna do is there'll be a fine issued, plus we're gonna confiscate it for 15 days the first time. And then if any other offenses, it's gonna be 30 days.
Because maybe if it's, you know, a couple $1,000 scooter or bike or whatever, I have no idea how much they are. And we're confiscating that, maybe that changes things because it's
I
a
don't
lot more expensive than a skateboard.
And of course, we see the uptick with, it's summertime, all the kids
Yeah.
around, if they're not at the swimming pool, they're on Main Street. And I shouldn't say it's all, because there's adults on them too. I'm not just gonna blame the juveniles. There's
No, adults.
plenty of adults on the e-bikes and the scooters that are a hazard to the roadways as well.
Yeah.
So, and if they're stopped, they're all gonna be cited regardless.
Will
If
the
we
charges
can,
stick though? Or are they gonna get
that
thrown
doesn't,
out like history?
they're summary offenses, they're ordinances. It doesn't matter whether they're gonna stick or not, they would be charged.
We'll be fine. Right? Yeah. All right.
And just to be clear on the agenda here this evening, under 4A, we do have the ordinance on to advertise. However, we did not get it back from legal, as Chief Fossey mentioned. So that will be on for the next meeting and hopefully we get it back.
All right. Curtis, Mr. Wilbon. How are we all doing?
I'm Curtis Wallball. I'm here today to commend the Bloomsburg Police Department.
Nice.
I went to their barracks on Thursday of last week and in my neighborhood and it's taken care of already. And I had to deal with homeless people at the woods at the end of Harriet Street. And I live right next to the woods, like the woods are right there. And you know, I have to, as a homeowner, have to have a fire pit, you know, and I didn't know they were in there till geez, I guess it was the week before on a Wednesday, my neighbor said, "Hey Kurt, we got people living in the woods." I'm like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I smelled the smoke and I've seen them go in and out." Well, it wasn't a day later, I saw them going in and out, and that's when I went over to the police station and talked to them, and the police gave them 3 days to get out. And on Father's Day, they got them out, and they came out with a cart, you know, full of luggage, bungee strapped down, and gone. I was really impressed by the way it was handled quickly, because it's not that I have issues with, you know, people on bad luck. But fire is not, I can't live there, I'm gonna burn if those woods catch.
Yeah, right.
And, you know, if they're whacked up, you don't know how to maintain a fire, you know, boom, I lose my home, so.
Yeah.
I'm just tickled to death that it got handled so quickly, and the officers, 2 of them have shown up at my house this paper, we got them out of here. And I said, "Thank you so much." That's basically what I wanted to do, is tell the police and the town of Bloomsburg that I'm glad that, I know now that they've had problems, you guys have had problems with this. And I don't wanna stand here and figure out how to fix it. But for me personally, I only needed them out of my area. And I hate to see them go somewhere else and bother someone else. Those woods are really grown, and I know I trimmed them cut them all the way to the ground. Probably 18 years ago. There was not a, just stumps, all by chainsaws. Took us all winter, I forget what year. It's been a long time for me, but the trees are 50 foot tall already. And I know it's a fly zone. And I truly like the woods. I see deer, you know, fox, a mink, coyotes, fox. I'm not too pleased with the skunks. As my dog gets tagged, they got tagged with one. But anywho, I love the woods, and yet I think they should be cut back down. Like leveled and maintained with a bush hog. Because now it's better for the fly zone. But now you're not gonna have people living in there because it's gonna be an open field.
We know who owns that property, Bob?
I was gonna say, who was that, cause that's the one we looked at before.
Do I
When I was
have?
questioning.
I'm not sure if they speak, Mr. Babenick,
Okay.
but I don't believe he lives here in Bloomsburg. But I was under the impression, since I spent a lot of time there mowing it and cutting it down. That the town assumes responsibility for it. I'm not saying, I'm just thinking that. This is probably gonna be a problem with homeless, no doubt. And it may happen again, but if it was a field. They're not gonna set up camp. They're not covered, they're not, you know, they're out in the open. But I like the woods. So I hate to see them go, but I don't want people living in the woods, no way. I mean, they're, you know.
Owner and talk to the owner, because we can't, it's different property,
Yep.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right.
But we can keep the homes.
Yes, we can do that.
I will say that, you know, if I see it developing. I will approach and come to the police and talk to them. But they handled it expeditiously and it makes me sleep good. And I'm happy and I'm proud of them. I worked with them for a long time. And with the police and I feel they don't get the recognition like they used to and they should. So that's why I'm here. And am I allowed to leave after I speak?
So much.
Thanks for this.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
Thank you.
See you, Chief. See ya.
All right, Brendan.
Thanks again, Chief.
Thanks.
Well, I was asked to come and, hi, I'm Gretchen Osterman. I'm the current chairperson, president of the Friends of the Town Pool. We'd like to do a raffle at the end of, the pool season, which we think, number one, is far too short. We'd love to see some ways to expand the weekends, so we can get, a few more days out of our pool passes. Closing on, August 15th is heartbreaking. But on that date, we would like to do a duck derby with our lovely little ducks. We're just gonna do a raffle. We'll sell them for $10 each. And if you purchase one, we'll align the number on the bottom of the duck with your name. We'll toss them in and see whose duck floats to the very end of the pool.
Love it.
And that person will win the 50-50. The other thing we're asking permission to do again. Well, and this is towards 5 o'clock for both events, is a cardboard box regatta. I sent video of other local pools doing this to Lisa and she can certainly share that, so you have an idea of what we're looking at. We'll have to develop some rules, make sure it's safe for everyone. And you know, entrance fee is what we're looking to charge for the regatta, not entrance fee to the pool, but an entrance fee to race against your community members. And the winner will win a trophy. We're gonna just keep it real low key.
Those are fantastic. I think that's great.
Just fun things to wrap up the season. And of course, we'll be participating in the yard sale as well, the week before. And we have an upcoming barbecue on July 11th. If anyone would like to buy their plate of dinner, it'll be $15 barbecue with 2 sides. And you can take that up 3 to 6 or 3 until the food runs out. That's our other fundraiser. Okay, does anyone have any questions?
Just a thank you.
Thank you. Hey, and we really appreciate the police. I'm part of Renaissance Jamboree as I guess part of the council that runs it every year. And yes, I approach some of those bikers. And I guess most of you know I'm pretty assertive with it. And if I get another job, I'll come up with.
Take an application.
Maybe we'll have some more lawsuits though, of course. But they have, and I live right downtown, of course, I'm a town member that's out and about every day. I have seen a decrease in the violations, since, you guys have taken some action, pulled a few kids over, whether it's e-bikes or regular bikes. I think, my notification should be really enhanced. Whether that's signage down to town pool where we see a lot of it because they're using them to travel, or if there's other locations that parents can be notified, just so they have what this really shouldn't be used, or that they need me to monitor their usage more carefully. Nobody wants to see families get sued and, if they're using something inappropriately and somebody gets hurt on the street. So that's just my thought.
We've actually worked with the school and sent out mass emails.
Yeah. That's
So all the parents and anybody that is basically on their email list and
Right.
to see if it would help. And unfortunately, I don't know how much it's actually helped.
Well, we would welcome flyers down to town pool. That'd be great.
That's a good idea.
We
If
do
you
that.
wanna put flyers at some of the other locations where kids and families are at, I'm sure people would welcome that too. But anything to get the word out, especially since we visitors to town in the summer, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, so if you guys have any questions about duck derby or.
Keep us updated on that.
$10 a piece for a duck. I'm sure you're all going to buy.
Hey, count me in,
Yeah.
count me in.
When are you gonna do the cardboard? Forgot.
Both of them are gonna be on August
Okay.
15th, which is currently scheduled to be the last day of the pool, which we don't agree with and we'd really like to see.
Well, we have reasons, Gretchen, I'm sorry.
I know, your reasons aren't good enough for us.
I know,
either.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know.
We don't wanna have to clean up.
I know.
All right, adios.
Thanks, Gretchen.
Bye.
All right, anyone else? Good. Diane?
Oh, if anything I had
What's that?
about the walking,
Okay.
but they covered it.
Okay. All right, well then we'll move on. I do have a proclamation to recognize June as LGBTQA and Pride Month. Whereas celebration pays tribute to the 1969 Stonewall Uprising in Manhattan, a pivotal moment in history that united the gay liberation movement and laid the foundation for the ongoing fight for LGBTQIA plus rights and equality. Whereas the town of Bloomsburg has a diverse lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer community and is committed to supporting visibly, dignitally, and equally for all people in the community. And whereas many of the residents, students, town employees, and business owners within the town of Bloomsburg contribute to the enrichment of our town and are part of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning community. And whereas various advancements have been made with respect to equitable treatments of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questions person throughout the nation. And whereas several cities across the United States recognize and celebrate June as National LGBTQ Pride Month, and whereas June has become a symbolic month in which lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people and supporters come together in various celebrations of Pride, and whereas events like Pridepalooza, organized by AIRE, further symbolizes the town's celebration of diversity and support for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community. Now, therefore, I, Jacqueline Kressler, by virtue of the authority vested in me as Vice President of the Town of Bloomsburg, do hereby proclaim June as Pride in the Town of Bloomsburg and invite everyone to reflect on ways we can all live together, live and work together with the commitment of mutual respect and understanding. Ready. Thank you, everyone. Moving on. Approval of the council minutes from the June 8th, 2026 meeting.
I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Norma still votes. Okay. Perfect, and then we're moving on to resolution number 06.22.2026.01. Is in regards to non-student rental liability. Yeah, motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Hey, all in favor?
What is
Are
it?
we gonna do that?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, give us a.
The items that are highlighted are the changes. There was only two. The one is for NSR. We did not have the wording per building for the fee. So we have a lot of landlords and owners that have multiple buildings. So this came up through code. So we're suggesting to have $150 per building plus $40 per dwelling unit. And then for the pool, you'll see that the convenient charges are different. So we have two different credit card processors first, for the, first time this year. We have Global, and then we also have the Clover machine. So those fees are in there and added as a convenient charge to the residents
How often are they?
every day. A lot of times the majority is through the credit card machine than the cash,
Even with the concession?
even with the concession, yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Anyone else? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Perfect. Okay, we're gonna skip around here. I don't know if everybody has the agenda on them. We are gonna skip to the pickleball court. Motions. And that starts at number 9, correct, Lisa? Correct. Okay, great. So I do have a statement from DEP on 6/10/2026 below. Given the problems with the pickleball court engineering, construction, surface issues, and longevity, and no commitment by town council to repair the existing damage and continuously maintain the courts at a high quality playable level, we request that every donor is offered the option or a refund or transfer of their donation to another 501c3 per our letter. Okay. Moving on to B, we have a review of the DAP letter regarding the options relayed from the June 2nd, 2026 email. Everybody has that in their package.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
We don't need to make a motion on that, correct?
It's just a review. That is their suggestion, and then we would work with Brian from the Town Park Improvement Association to make that happen.
Okay, moving on to the big one. Approval to open the pickleball courts. If a yes, the majority, they will open. If a no, as a majority, they will close.
I'll make the motion that we open the pickleball courts
I'll
as
second.
quickly as possible.
Okay, so tomorrow morning.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. In that case, I do have a press release. The town of Bloomsburg is providing an update regarding the pickleball court project at Streeter Field following a recent review of engineering and laboratory findings. When this project was initially conceived, several factors supported the placement of the pickleball courts near the existing soccer games. First, any noise generated from the court activities would be located away from nearby residential areas. Second, an active construction permit already existed at the site due to the project. Third, the town was approached by an interested group from Danville that sought to support the development of a high-quality pickleball facility that would be open to the public. Town council recently met in executive sessions to review the results of the core sampling testing conducted at the pickleball courts. An attorney and an engineer were present during this discussion to provide professional guidance regarding the findings. Based upon the information presented, council is exploring a potential resolution that would include making final payment to the contractor, Robert C. Young, and any other contingencies town council votes on this evening. As a result, council has made the decision to open the courts for public use. The town intends to work with the Town Park Improvement Association to return donor funds. The existing structure will remain at the current location and be utilized for public purpose. The town recognizes and sincerely appreciates the efforts of DAP, its volunteers, donors, and supporters who worked diligently to advance this project. The commitment demonstrated by the community throughout the process has been significant, and those contributions remain valued and appreciated. Additional information such as opening date will be provided once the courts are fully inspected for ADA parking and permitting has been closed out. Thank you. All right.
And just, I know there was a comment like, oh, they're open tomorrow. So D and A and B, just for press releases, those two items will have to be taken care of before they are open. Okay.
And then we're running on this. Okay. All right. A, final ADA painting of the parking stalls must be done and codes third-party approval, permitting of the majority is a yes.
Which it's a yes.
Okay,
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
Logo sponsors will be communicated in to see if they wish to have their logo remains on the courts. If the funds are pulled, the logos will be painted over by the town crew. All right, moving on. E, approval is to relay the Town Park Improvement Association that the opening the courts, having an option for the funds to remain for the pickleball project to be included.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Matt.
I just feel at this point, to discuss this a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, I would agree to it. Did we get exactly what we paid for down there? No. We didn't get professional quality pickleball court. Did we get playable pickleball court? Yes, we got very playable. And as I stated from the people that were there, they even went in and banged the ball around for a while and played on the court for a couple minutes. They're perfectly playable pickleball courts. And there's no reason, how do I want to say? It just, they're very usable pickleball courts. If people want to pool their money and don't want to be part of this, that's on them. That's all I can say. That's on them. These courts are going to be played on, and they will be the busiest thing in the town of Bloomsburg. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on. Approval not seeking mediation from any of the contractors.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Again,
All good?
the contractor did his job
I
down
agree,
there,
yes.
according to what the engineers give him. The engineers give him, he did his job. There's really been no reason to withhold this money this long to those contractors. It may not be the perfect job that we expected, but here we are again.
But again, the contractors did do their job.
The contractors did their,
The only reason why it took so long is because we had to make sure.
I know,
So I just don't want it to be,
Right.
misconstrued. We did our due diligence.
I don't
make
think,
sure it
but we
was-
did,
yeah, good
but we
job.
did a little bit there, but, they did their job.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, G is approval to release third-party reports related to the pickleball review from IWDA and Benesh for fulfill right to know requests.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. H, approval of ending the contract with ELA Group for a third-party opinion.
So moved.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great. And I, approval to stop having the Public Works Department measuring the water in the holes daily.
So moved.
Second, with thank you very much, thank you.
Yes, you're done.
Yes.
Thank you.
Was appreciated. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. So that is pickleball. Wonderful. Dr. Wiegand?
And I would just ask J and K to be voted on as no, since they're on the
Okay.
agenda, just so we have it for record.
Okay, got it. Okay, J, approval to sell the perimeter fence and weights on municipal bid.
So moved. Second,
Okay, all in favor?
no.
No,
All approved, all opposed?
No.
Aye.
All right, great. I'm just excited to get my no out.
Yeah.
We said. Professional
Okay.
manage here.
Should we do that over again?
Yeah, let's do that again. Yes, please.
Can I do that over again?
Right?
So you said denied, so usually a vote in, positive vote is a yay, right? So,
I got excited.
okay, I'm good. So what I heard was a 0 to 6, because I heard denial.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard 2 no's, so like, that's what I heard for the motion. Okay.
We got it.
Okay, K, approval to relocate the camera to the skate park area.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
no,
So the yeses were Chris and Karen on that one,
And,
and that's, okay. So that is actually tied.
Yeah.
Norman, did you have a vote on that one?
I voted nay.
Okay, so it was 3 to 3. You can go ahead and call for another vote.
all right, we'll go ahead and call for another vote.
Can I ask a question?
Can we just,
Can you explain to me, moving them, right now they're at the, since I've already voted on this, now I'll get an explanation. But they're now at the skate park and we were gonna move them to the pickleball court, correct?
They're currently at Streeter Fields around the pickleball court. So this was under, if the courts are not opening, to relocate the camera to the skate park.
Misunderstand. Too bad. Sorry.
And like, we know there's vandalism happening at the skate park. So the idea was if we're not gonna have
Gotcha.
something of,
Okay. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
yep.
Sorry. I apologize.
okay, but again,
So
Yeah.
if there's
Revote.
vandalism at the skate park, does that mean that we, in doing this, believe there's gonna be vandalism at the pickleball court?
no, it is.
Is it?
It was anyways.
I mean, the cameras that are there at the pickleball courts now are really good. I can't say that it will prevent vandalism. I think that was your question.
No, I'm saying, assuming you would want the cameras at the place where you expect the most vandalism. That's a hard decision because I don't want to smear the skateboarders in any way, and we haven't had any pickleball players other than people coming in to do some nonsense about I'm not measuring the water, if I remember correctly. So I guess it's, to me, it's where do we think there's gonna be the most vandalism? Or, I don't know what cameras cost, thinking about putting cameras at both places.
So Norman, we're having a hard time hearing you, but what Norman's trying to relay is trying to decide which location has the most vandalism. And what he's conveying is it's hard to tell that right now because we have yet to really open the pickleball courts.
Okay. That's fair.
I feel way out of sight,
Yeah.
Adam. You know, I think we'd be much better off.
Yeah.
Agree, keeping that as a bar outside.
Okay.
Okay, so Rito on K,
Sorry.
all good. Approval to relocate the camera in the skate park area.
So moved. Second.
Okay, all in favor? All those opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Hey,
Great.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Sorry, I made that for the.
Are we going through all the other ones too, Lisa?
Yep, so this section is if the courts are going to stay open, so L would be the first item there.
Oh, okay. Approval L, approval of full payment to Robert C. Young for full contract and all change orders that were previously approved. Note, it is known that some donors will be pulling their funds from the project. Council understands that the shortfall will fall to the general fund for payment.
So move.
Second.
And can we just get a clarification on this?
Yep, so this one, you can see the different choices, M, N, O, and P, and then Q. All of those items were previously discussed at some point in this project. So we need clarification if we're opening them with, nothing done, opening them with some adjustments, and so forth. So that is kind of where we're at. I don't want to just go ahead and open them and not have you guys weigh in on that.
Okay, and L is pretty much them completely redoing is for that change order 3, correct?
Change order 3 was voted on as a no, so we
Okay.
never extended the date. That will stay as is. So this is really just for the payment to Robert C. Young.
Okay, no change work order changes.
Correct. Nope, that is not on the agenda this evening. The reason why last meeting it was on for full payment, that was under the understanding we were going to close the court. So now this is,
Okay,
going the other direction.
okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
Move to see.
We did a second.
Garmin and Karen seconded.
Okay.
Was that unanimous?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Okay, then M is approval to have Robert C. Young do nothing to the courts at this time.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion needed?
Can I ask a question? Can you hear me? Is it worthwhile trying to ask a question? I'm assuming there's some amount of damage to the acrylic, and I don't think there's anything that we've done that makes us think that reapplying acrylic onto a court that hasn't been able to hold acrylic is gonna hold acrylic now. Am I wrong in that theory?
Norman, is there any way that you can get closer to your mic or wherever you're talking to?
I'm either closer or further. Is that better?
That is
a little
better.
bit better, yeah. We can see your face.
Okay, so if the acrylic wasn't staying on the court before and we've done nothing to the court, what would make us think that doing anything acrylic wise is going to improve the situation?
I agree.
Yeah, we agree.
Okay,
Look into, I think at one point we were gonna ask them to do something, right?
Correct.
If it was close.
Okay.
If it was closing.
So we had, I had sent out an email. We had issues with bird baths and then also the acrylic surface being applied differently throughout the court. So I just want clarification, are we paying Robert C. Young in full and not having them come back and do patchwork or have the paint redone? We just need clarification direction on it.
aren't we better off to have the acrylic removed?
Can't really do that. Though.
No,
We can do acrylic for
you need the lines.
the, yeah.
Well, you can paint the lines directly then on the macadam.
You need a surface,
Yeah.
a painted surface, right?
Okay. Well, that's the first thing people are gonna notice. They're gonna go down and you're gonna have a pockmarked acrylic surface, because it's, so you get through this season now, and then next season, if the weather is as bad as this year, you're gonna get more painting and peeling. And then it's gonna be, I think that's, if there's someone gets injured, it's more likely that they're slipping on this acrylic than they are directly on blacktop.
But I believe per report, the issues weren't with what Robert Young did, that they did. They built everything out to spec.
No, I understand that completely, but even doing it the way it was supposed to be done, it wouldn't stay down. So it's going to continue to not stay down over time. I'm guessing that. And so if you remove it, that's not an issue. If it can be removed. I mean, I'm a genius.
Okay.
All right, so, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye. No.
No, he's an A. He's an A.
Yay. Whatever.
Okay, moving on to N, approval to have Robert C. Young fix up spots on the acrylic surface at this time. Is this what you would like to see, Norman?
No, I'd like to see it removed. I mean, I think fixing the spots, if I felt the wrong way, I've done it all the time since I joined council, and I'm gonna change. But if I don't think that you waste a penny putting more surface down it's not gonna stay down. I don't think.
I'd like to see the courts played on for the rest of this year
Yeah.
and have Robert Young come back next year and see how the acrylic surface, that's like under O.
Where are you gonna get that money?
What's that? I mean, no,
Yeah.
back and check them out.
Fair enough.
I mean, that would be my better.
Okay.
I agree, Jim, that's what I agree with. Play them out this year, and then, if you're not gonna remove it, play them out this year, and then we take a look at it before the beginning of next year.
Okay, all in favor?
There's no motion yet. on
Oh,
that.
Yeah,
So moved.
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay.
Nay.
Okay,
So I heard Chris and Jim as yeses.
No, I'm a nay, sorry.
Okay. Jim, are you a yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
As am
And
I,
Norman, I heard you as a yes?
I'm a yes.
Okay, so 2-4. Okay, thank you.
Who voted nay?
I voted nay.
Okay. And then Jeff,
voted nay.
right, so it's 3. 3 and 3.
So I had Garmin and Norman as no, but you said that you said yes?
No.
You changed yours. Okay. So I have 2-4.
I know all. Well.
Is that accurate, Chris?
So 4 of us.
So this was.
Correct.
Nay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right.
right.
To the courts as they are.
Everybody said we didn't.
Correct, we've still to vote on.
Okay.
And,
Paperwork.
yeah, okay, so
This is.
that votes, correct, Lisa?
2-4. I have Garmin and Norman saying yes.
Okay. Oh, approval to have Robert C. Young come back in 2026 and fix up spots on the field surface after playtime in the fall.
You just said that one, right? No, that was.
No.
Fix up spots. So moved.
Second.
Okay,
I would like to see, not necessarily come back and fix them all up. I mean, if you've been down, and looked at it, I don't think they're that bad. I think there's more damage done when the fence is lower
I.
to the acrylic
I would
surface.
agree with
To the acrylic surface. I would like, it checked out in the spring, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily fixed up in the spring.
So this is.
You know, do we want to come in, you know, and that quick, maybe do anything? But I think I would really like it checked up in the
But
spring.
we don't wanna pay.
I know,
Right,
but how else are we gonna do it without?
We don't do it. We're not making any repair.
No.
That's
That
You don't wanna make
that
it-
was the initial
We're not
thing that
making
was
any
out.
repairs,
Yeah.
we're
We're
not
opening it up
maintaining
as it is. Please, Jess, tell us how you feel.
okay, all in favor? All those opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Hey,
Okay, so P, approval to have Robert C. Young repaint the entire acrylic surface at this time. So moved.
Second.
Beach.
Right, any discussion necessary?
No.
All in favor? All those opposed?
Nay.
Okay, and R is approval to authorize town staff to work with the Town Park Improvement Association.
Q, just one up. Sorry. I
Oh,
think
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
This is the same, but after playtime.
Oh, okay, Q, approval to have Robert C. Young repaint the entire acrylic surface after playtime this fall.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion necessary?
No.
Okay, all in favor? All those opposed?
Nay.
hey,
A. R. Approval to authorize town staff to work with the Town Park Improvement Association to obtain the names of donors whose contributions remain, so the donor sign can be updated accordingly. Note, the donor sign was removed and picked up in the fall of 2025 in preparation for the grand opening. Update will ensure all eligible donors are properly acknowledged.
So moved. So moved. Oh, second.
Any discussion needed, necessary? Okay, all in favor? Yeah, mine. All those opposed?
I'm sorry.
You threw it.
Nikki's the.
And this, A, I'm just reading, correct, Lisa?
This one, we still didn't pay the invoice, so I need direction on that.
Okay, Columbia County Commissioners.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, that one is just a note, yep.
Okay. Columbia County Commissioners confirmed with Lisa Dooley on 6/19/2026 that the courts are opened, that they will leave the $10,000 payment of hotel tax funds. Okay, finally, S, approval of payout of payment to Livick Civil in the amount of $3,500 for description of permitting closeout for the pickleball court project.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion necessary? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Perfect. And that is all, correct?
Correct. Just for T, if you guys can vote, that down since they're not opening.
P, approval to have Robert C. Young seal the entire courts with their recommended asphalt pavement sealer with sand, so the courts are covered up. The cost is on Robert C. Young to perform this work, and council votes to pay in full Robert C. Young the full contract and all change orders that were previously approved.
So moved. Oops, second.
Okay, any discussion even?
No.
Okay, all in favor? Any opposed?
Nay.
Yay.
Okay. Now. Done. Back to the beginning? Yes.
Was that it for pickleball?
What's that?
That is.
It
That
is.
was it. I wanted to thank
Lisa, how are
you.
you feeling?
That was like a ton of work. Great job.
Yeah.
I know, I need to come more.
For one of the 3-hour meetings.
Yeah.
Thanks, this may be, don't wish it. Bye now. Bye, Lisa.
Okay, moving on. Going back to number 1, department reports for May. Brady, Public Works.
Reports in the packet.
How are we doing in the pool?
Good, we'll do great.
Great.
That's great.
How many times have you not talking so far?
4 times. So we got the chest freezer, now we're good to go.
Yay.
Nice. Wonderful.
We got the divider in the dog park
Yeah,
and
busy.
the lagoons.
Yeah, very busy.
Trying that Japanese not back.
Yeah. Okay. Code enforcement, everything was in the packet, we don't have anybody here.
I'm here.
You're here.
I'm here. Yep, so I generate these reports monthly and put them in the packet, the permit reports there, and then Brandon and Kyle's cases that they did in May are shown on the screen. Brandon had 4 and Kyle had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're very busy doing student inspections and all sorts of tall grass. So if you guys see anything, eyes, ears, let us know and we'll assist. Barry Izett is doing good as the third party zoning, keeping that up since we no longer have that in-house.
Police.
Parking's, it's police parking. It's in your packet there. Any questions about it all? We're down a little bit and as far as issuing tickets or not, but it's summertime. That's kind of how it goes.
Anything fun to add? Fun?
He's like, what?
No,
You're not gonna make us laugh about incorrectly or something.
Quite simple.
enough.
Yeah, you got time.
Did, that's great.
All right, moving on.
Thank
All right, Finance Committee, that's me. A is approval to rehire Paul Housenet for $15 an hour for recycling attendant.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any, Bethany then? Okay, perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. B, approval of signing agreements with paychecks for approximately $100 in savings per month and a $25% to 3 years. Savings of approximately $3,600.
So moved. Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Wonderful.
Getting closer to that $30,000 for the new website.
Yes.
I might be, no.
Where you at for that?
I don't know, I'd have to go back and check.
3,600. C is approval to close the Sunview Development Escrow Bank account.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Wonderful, moving on, D, approval to close the following grant bank accounts. A is Community Development Block Grant for disaster recovery, B is the home, and C is SWIFT.
So moved.
Second.
We have to vote on them individually or all?
That's what I was wondering.
You can do it collectively.
Good.
So, what's that?
Why would you close the home account?
There is no more active applicants on it. So right now the bank account is just sitting with interest in it. So, same with CDBG, DR and SWIFT. SWIFT was our bank account for elevated homes. So we can always open a new bank account when new grant dollars come through.
With any of them?
Correct,
Does-
yeah.
no. Okay,
Yep.
with the disaster recovery, you know Bloomsburg's gonna have another one, so
Yeah.
one could just be open to get.
Yeah, and technically with those are usually FEMA, so they actually flow through our general fund, not this grant account, but
Okay.
yep.
Good question.
Why would we not wanna let them sit?
So at this time, we have permission to go ahead and close them out. There's no activity. Some of these didn't have activity for a couple years. Some have been a whole year. So that's kind of where we're at. We have 23 bank accounts,
Just three
Yeah.
more.
so I'm trying to help clean it up. Yeah,
Okay.
Cause I'm assuming you would get some sort of fee for keeping an active account.
at the bank level, like we have to
Right.
have at least $100 minimum, or else we get non-sufficient fund charges. So
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on to E, approval for an invoice from Buchanan in the amount of $54,066.50 for litigation for number 2022 CB 1061 and number 2023 CB 699.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Wonderful. F is approval to allocate the 2026 CDBG funds. Can I look these together?
yes,
Great.
yep.
A, West Pine parking lot for $56,254. East Pine parking lot, $56,254. Pine parking lot, $56,254. Administration, $36,900.
So moved.
Aye.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Jim, it's your turn.
Okay, approval of payment to Delta Airport Consultants Incorporated. The amount of $9,259.23 for design work for the hangar project.
Second.
Okay,
Is this funds already?
allocated.
Grant funds allocated
Grant,
towards it,
okay.
yep. You'll see some action probably in the next month for a zoning hearing board application for variances, so.
Okay, great. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Wonderful. Moving on, police, fire, and ambulance. Approval to advertise an ordinance amending part 2 self-propelled devices. Note the final version was not ready by 6/19/2026 from the solicitor to include in the packet.
So we've been working with the solicitor to try to get the ordinance up and going and to get it out for advertising. Unfortunately, some of the language wasn't completed at this point. So the solicitor is gonna go back at it here and hopefully we have it before the next meeting.
Okay.
We're gonna take a look at the next one.
Perfect.
So we have to vote it down.
You can either table it or vote it down. Right now, there is no motion. So you can do
So-
whatever.
I move to table this, the approval for the self-propelled vortex.
Second.
Okay, all in favor of tabling?
Bye.
Okay, any opposed? Perfect. Okay, moving on, B, approval to sell 20 SIG handguns to officers at the rate of $300 each.
So moved. Second.
Any,
These are the firearms that we have in our armory right now, that we replaced with, new handguns last year. So we're just looking, they're just sitting in there now and,
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, kind of like some other references, so.
Did they all express interest in them? or-
they have, well, most of them have.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Okay, C is discussion of sponsoring one candidate through the Act 120 Academy.
So we're,
Just
do you need a
discussion
motion,
tonight.
just discussion?
Yes.
So we're looking to send somebody through the academy. We've applied, or we've held at least 2 civil service processes in the last year. Just putting out there, asking for people that are Act 120 certified. We've gotten a few applicants. It was before that, if you were in the academy, you could take our test, and if you were certified by the time we got through the process, what that means, your background, your polygraph, the whole 9 yards, you're eligible to take the position. Unfortunately, a lot of the departments are fortunate for candidates, but we don't do it this way. We have never sponsored a candidate since I can remember, being part of the department, So with a lot of the departments locally sponsoring candidates, I think it's come to that point where we should look at that. And you can set it up to where there's a contract to where they gotta work for so long. That's a lot of other departments do it that way. It's gonna give us a stronger candidate commitment. Maybe they stick around 4 or 5 years, maybe 25 years. We do have, a lot of that. We have the ability to kind of get the officers in with us, maybe do some ride-alongs, maybe, kind of shape the way that they're gonna become an officer. Maybe it helps us, with the retention rates, keep officers around longer.
There was a very timely.
It
article in the
is,
paper today.
it's, what's that?
I don't know if anybody saw the article in the paper today, but it's very timely for chief. Berwick just had 2
2 applicants,
people that they hired. from that
went through the
academy.
academy.
Basically what they're doing is they're repaying for the cost of tuition for their flying.
Yeah, like they've sponsored where they've sent through the academy. And they also, with other candidates, they have reimbursed for the academy cost. So that's an alternative too,
Over the course of 4 years, so.
Yeah, everything's over
For,
a course of time.
And then do they get a stipend or a salary or?
If you send them through the academy, yeah,
Okay.
they got a stipend.
Okay.
Plus the, whatever the training materials cost.
And
I
then
believe that was all in there.
the plan is to maybe test one out and then see how that goes, and then.
I think we're at the point now where we have to try. I would, encourage council to maybe do a test for, like, we're trying to figure out the verbiage, and it's illegal right now too, so that's why some of the other things are stalled out, I believe.
The specific article you're referencing is with Levi McWilliams. You guys conditionally approved him to hire Lewis like 2 weeks ago. We chose forward because of this. 8,500 plus $20 an hour while he's still in the academy. And you guys conditionally approved him 2 weeks ago. He went forward to get that, which is smart on his end. 8,500 to get back.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and then they got a police officer for 4 years too, so.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
conditional. He does have to pay that back if he doesn't.
If he leaves.
4 years.
Prorated.
If he leaves or something doesn't, yeah,
Yeah.
they'll have a contract, it's all,
There was a fantastic letter this morning.
but yes, thanks for, bringing that back around. So, with our department and over the next couple of years, we are down a few officers. If we start sending, applicants through the academy, maybe it'll give us a chance to be proactive and try to send you an applicant through the academy ahead of time instead of waiting until somebody leaves. and say, oh my God, we're 3 guys behind, 3 officers, behind. I think it's long overdue that we need to try to be proactive. And that way we have all the officers we need, we can address a lot of the concerns that we have, scooters, bicycles. You know, pedestrian complaints. These are all issues that actually come back to a lack of manpower. You can't really stop and address a scooter that's on Main Street if you're on your way to a violent domestic.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen that way. And I'm never gonna yell at an officer for not addressing, you know, something which is, it's serious, but not as serious as what you're going to.
So this, the last one, we had 5 candidates of
I
the
did.
5.
I did have 5
Down to
candidates
2.
and we went down to 2 applicants through the process. The one before that would believe we had 8 applicants. Throughout that, we end up unfortunately not selecting anybody. You gotta think about the cost of what we keep putting into, the process. The process is not, it's not cheap. Each time you send it out, we pay for testing. We pay for background investigations and polygraph operators. And, you know, of course, we would vet all the candidates. They'd have to test first, do the civil service exam. And then, we would have to do the background or the process before they go to the academy. Because they need to pass all that because you can't really finance them if they haven't passed. Right. Figure it out
So,
at the end.
like what Berwick did, I know that there are candidates available. So. Seems like Berwick kind of just found candidates that didn't have placement yet.
Well, you
And then-
figure when I came to you guys for the event up here, I don't know, last year a couple of times. That's essentially what Berwick just did. They gave me $500 for an incentive. Yes, they labeled it as, you're getting reimbursed for the academy, but it's an incentive. I mean, you're gonna go to some place, yeah, it's just called something different. Could we do that? Potentially. Could that be an option for us? Yeah. I'm not really sure that's something that you wanna do, and, you know, you set it down with the retention and contract, you put it all in there, the verbiage that you guys wanna see. But actually send, one over to Lisa and, Justin, just to take a look at. Give me some feedback.
Yeah.
And, of course, it would go to legal before that, but it's something that we need to keep moving forward on. And I think we're well past the time when we need to do this.
I agree.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Get it through legal and we'll bring that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's for civil service. I mean, if we were just gonna test. We potentially have 2 more positions that are gonna need to be, well, we definitely have 1. We have 2, so even if we did not send, maybe we test for. Somebody that's in the Act 120 right now, that might be at a different academy. And we offer the $8,500 as far as a tuition reimbursement for that person. And then maybe for the one that we need to be proactive on, we send them through the academy because the academy class isn't gonna start until later on. It's not like we can just send them to the one that's starting in September. It takes me 2 months to get a background and polygraph completed. It's like a slow process, so that might be what we need to do, but we definitely need to sponsor some candidates through the academy.
So if there's interest from council, what I envision is Chief Fossey coming back to the July admin finance with a contract and then also a pay rate. That way, when he goes to advertise this round, we know what we're actually offering. So if there is that effort that we're gonna do this, there's some effort that has to be done on the admin end to get everything
Yes.
aligned.
So I mean, I would recommend that we hire, if we get an Act 120 certified applicant, we hire that, but we still do somebody that we sponsor through the academy. So essentially 2 more, like 2 positions.
Okay.
Is that something you guys wanna see at the July admin finance, just to see what the
Yeah.
rates would
I
be?
think that'd be good.
I would. Jim?
Yep,
Yes. Okay. Cool. Wonderful.
we can see the rates, but I think we really need to have a serious discussion with what's going on at budget time. Just
I mean,
because,
how many officers are we down right now?
3. Well,
Okay.
see, because we're this well,
I,
we're gonna have to have a a big discussion about this.
I agree. What do you wanna do now,
Well, we'll see what brings up the numbers.
though? Okay, all right.
Maybe we can sell them 20 guns.
20 times 300.
That's 6,000, that's damn near.
Okay, yeah, that's not. Okay, moving on. D is approval of the civil service regulations. And we are waiting on legal to send us the final wording.
We should table this too.
I mean, we have no new regulations for you guys to pass this evening, so we were hopeful that we would get it at least maybe today. Hey, it's this section, we're just trying to add one section for a sponsor. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's accurate. It's, like I said, we've never sponsored anybody that I can remember. So we want to make sure that we're following all the guidelines. And since we want to hire more than one, if we want to hire somebody to send through the academy, but we also want to, if we have somebody that's able to start in 2 months versus, the 6 months or longer, we want to have that option as well.
Right. Okay.
So then, is it good? Should we make a motion to? Well, I'll make a motion to table this discussion until the next meeting, or admin finance, or whatever comes first when we have the information. So, but
Okay, all in favor of tabling? Aye. Okay. And then E is approval to advertise a new civil service list.
So move.
second,
Into civil service.
so what is this?
Cause if we added to this, we have to go off your regulations now. So we're just having a discussion, so. If there is interest in having a sponsor, I would have you guys table this because we would need that new section into
Yeah.
the regulations.
Heard.
Right.
Okay. But anyway,
Motion to table the approval to advertise the news. Second.
okay, all those in favor of tabling?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Wonderful. Moving on, Parks and Recreation. A, approval of a quote from Northeastern Automated Technologies, Inc. in the amount of $975.99 for a camera at the pool in the concession stand.
So moved. Second.
Okay, is this like the same one that we have down at pickleball courts?
Yep, so it would be the same
Okay.
one that would connect with the 4 existing cameras at the
Okay.
pool. And on day one, just so everyone's aware, like our Clover device, that was $699, it was broken. So we were lucky, we were able to get a new one sent from PNC. So I would kind of give a plug out there to PNC, we got that for free. Upgraded that device, plugged in all of our inventory and now we're up and running, but accidents do happen, but also we now have a new space that we're funneling. We're already exceeding that amount already in sales, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful. And this is on 24/7?
Yes,
Is it battery operated like the last one? You
it
guys
is not
familiar?
battery operated.
Okay, so it's what, Wi-Fi?
It is not Wi-Fi, it's hardwired and it goes right to the police station too.
Perfect, wonderful. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, moving on. Recycling. Jess Jordan.
Item A, approval of a quote from Commercial Sales to replace the dock at the recycling center in the amount of $9,541.62.
So moved.
Second.
Explanation here for you. First, just so your motion, Raynor, RAYNOR is a company, commercial sales division. That you're gonna approve rate, and they were a vendor that did our other bay dock. On the east side of, on the west side of the building where they took our existing one, added a plate and made it sturdy, cause our dock, this dock, they're 45 years old. This one, we have a need for a weld repair and the same work that needs done, so we'll wanna replace the whole unit, so. Another $3,900 is actually replacing the 45-year-old dock plate. Welding it into the floor to keep it fastened and secure, and the labor, so basically the quote has three parts to it there, but this one's actually gonna. Get us a brand new loading dock on that side of the building, as opposed to trying to get by with the $2,000 weld and a hard to use dock.
Okay.
And the money comes from,
Recycling fund.
Any other discussion needed? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Moving on, projects.
Yeah. Approval to authorize Barry Asset and Associates to prepare a change order for the Public Works and Recycling Center project that would waive the assessment of liquidated damages to ARC Construction in exchange for the completion of additional root work in the areas not originally included within the project scope.
So moved.
You get a little
Yeah,
story
so,
here.
ARC is the roof builder, and per the contract, they exceeded their completion date. At this point, the liquidated damages amount to roughly $52,000. We did ask for a quote, this was over a month ago, for the building at the recycling center. There's basically the office building that was not touched because it's not flat.
Public
It's, or sorry, Public Works. So at Public Works, the office area that is not touched, it's a shingled roof. We asked for a quote, that quote came back, Brady, I think it was around $62,000. Obviously, that's way too much. It's basically triple the amount of, per square, what was it, per square yard.
Yeah.
Of the roof. It was like $13 is our current price, and they were charging us $36. So we're like, we're not even taking that to council. Went on site to recycling on Friday, talking to Charlie, kind of getting really the overview of the project, and there's 2 areas that were not touched at recycling as well. So since we have these areas that were not replaced or not touched, and the contractors walked on them, put their staging area on them, you know, it was seen that the roofing material, even at recycling, kind of had some ripples to it. Brady, you were saying?
Yeah, they both need to be replaced.
So they're both needing to be replaced. We just want them on the same schedule because our facilities hardly get touched throughout the year. So the approach was, we called Jacob from ARK, Charlie and I called him on Friday. The idea is if council would waive the liquidated damages, they would then do the current roofs in total. So that's what I have for you. And I think Brady and Charlie were all in support of this as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good solution. Brady has more roof impacted than I do, but yeah, getting these roofs done where we're not gonna have our future leak on something that is repaired later. Through the damages clause that we have, and I'm gonna do that work in lieu of that. It's a good decision.
Good, okay. Anything else? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Cool.
So review recycling center parking area and its relationship to the proposed solar project, including the planned relocation and elevation of the electrical panel. We need to discuss the potential placement options, including locating the equipment on a built platform. And the platform will be about 8 feet high from the ground. It is also, we also anticipate PPL costs slightly due to the added distance from the main pole. So.
I'm happy to just give you the.
Thank you.
Please.
Yeah, if really, so in the original design plans, the solar collection units that you can now see at Public Works on the ground in front of the Public Works building. Were set to go across where the windows are at the front of the recycling center. My concern then was the public coming by and deposit bags or whatever in it, but that's where it was designed for. That's fine. 3 weeks ago, we had an on-site meeting to discuss this, and I brought that up as my concern. They said, well, you know, you lose 4 parking spaces. You've gotta have a buffer zone from the edge of the cabinet for a worker to stand, move your parking stalls back, and then moving them back, it would be into the passing, the driveway coming through. So I said, no, our core business is interrupted. Let's find an alternative. Well, the alternative we looked at was wrapping it around to the west side of the building. As you came in there, it's actually 32 feet from the corner of the building to almost where the truck bay is, but that 8-foot platform for that to sit up on would be. It's elevated to meet all the regulations and stuff, but it has to also have a platform and a ladder access to it. So in that discussions, it wasn't until Friday, as Lisa and I were meeting, that the village split came in. At that point, we had the two portions of it, Lisa, if I'm ever wrong, just tell me and you have something different. 24,000 came in for the solar, because they have to change where the wires come off to that west side and then run it back to where the panels are on the inside of the building, outside my office or by the one baler. So that was one portion of that bill that came in from Sunpulse doing their due diligence on the piping, conduit, and the wire itself cost. But then they also, a secondary quote for a subcontractor to build the platform came in at 79,000 or so, close to 80,000. So those two numbers together, we looked at as a super high cost and came back around multiple conversations with Thomas. I don't know if he's on tonight with us or not. Thomas from Barry Izette, who's been our lead, trying to come back around. Luke provided some more clarification on what those costs were on, what his 24,000 broke out to in an email and everything. And then the only thing that else could be done is if the Public Works digs at the foundation and they can see they can touch the foundation of the building along the west side, that would reduce some of the cost of the platform. I can't tell you a substantial savings, I don't know, but it would be exploratory work. So again, we're either at $100,000, move it all to the side with that additional cost, move the project forward, and you have a platform out of the way, out of everybody's concern. Or we have to go back to the drawing board on what to do out front, because I really don't want to lose the parking or redesign it, or nor do we have an official answer on the across the front in different locations. We don't have a cost. I can't tell you a cost if we move the closing bins, do something else across the front. I don't have numbers on that. We have to go back to this guy. So it's before you tonight for that discussion because of the extra cost. Move forward and do it, or go back to Barry Izette or Ritu, whichever one has to do the actual development of designs. But they said at least 4 parking spaces. I'm afraid there's only 6 across the side before you the entrance door and then 6 on the other side. That's where my big concern is. But secondary concern being your increased cost of that.
Yeah. So on Friday, we were brainstorming, can these platforms be tiered? Can they, remain? If they would remain in the front of the building, it's my understanding it could be done. However, you're gonna probably go from 4 parking spots to 2 parallel. So right here on the screen, if you guys can see that, these are the parallel spots. On a busy day, you have people even parking here, right? Charlie is not really in favor of this. However, I think it's definitely an option for council. Talking with Charlie on Saturday, I know this is a huge sell to council, so I think at that point it was, well, what's the cost of the change orders? Is that gonna be a split between recycling and general fund? This solar panels are not just for the recycling center, they are for the entire town, the electric bill, so I think that's Charlie's reasoning behind that. And then, so C and D on the agenda, as Charlie described, C is basically 2 numbers netted to the $19,000. One number is for 24 grand for Sunpulse to run all the conduit. Talking with Luke from Sunpulse, it's 60 copper wires, there's a lot. So it's a lot of heavy duty devices, materials that go into it. And then $4,500 was a change order at Public Works because we did not build the secondary building. So that's why there's a net. And then D is what Charlie explained is the platform of it. We're basically in a design phase right now. If it is moved to the side, that design is about $5,000. And then this is actually to go forward with placing it on the side. The cost of the equipment to go on the platform, I got that back today. It's about the same cost as these 2 change orders. So in the case of a flood, that's in today's cost though, right? So I can't guarantee you what that cost would be 5 years from now. But I think that's important for council to decide here tonight.
Are there any other options?
But we're not sure because, I had just talked with Brady. Brady's are ground mounted and he had to pour cement pad extra to keep it. Mine can't be ground mounted because they have to be up at least to the base flood elevation. which means it's mounted somehow. And to my knowledge, there's no real solid beams that they can mount these on where they were drawn on the plan. Just my assessment. Didn't ask the engineers, we didn't get to that far, we were talking moving it and then moving it back. Just to what it was drawn. We haven't got to boots on the ground, this will work, mounted on the side of your building. So I still have questions if they can mount it on the front of the building as the original drawing was.
Yeah.
Or if that's gonna need some supports, could be lower, I mean, it's not gonna be around the corner, it slopes down.
Right,
Hence the reason it's gonna look 8 foot off the ground if you're standing beside it.
right.
But, you know, wrapping it right around the corner. So on the front, I still think I see some sort of supports having to be built, but, you know, like I said, our operational shift in, coming in and out of there, I see as a difficulty and stuff, but it doesn't mean you can't ask to be relooked at and think of it differently. This evening I said, can we relocate PP&L inside the building closer to the other wall? I'm thinking the other way around. Can I move the inside and match the outside? I don't know that answer either. Sorry, that's just an idea that came to me because I'm always gonna look for an idea that's gonna work.
Yeah.
This is heavily regulated on PPNL also approving it, like the location.
Mhm.
So it's not just, oh, what the town wants
Right.
goes. So there's a
Right,
lot
so-
that goes into it. It's here before you. If there's no interest, we need to really know going forward what our approach is to kind of keep moving forward. This is the first monetary change order that's before you on a $1.8 million project, which is, you know, to say our past history on projects, that's kind of unknown, right? So when you say 2 to 5% of a project to be the contingencies for change orders, like this isn't a bad thing. This is just a thing that needs to be discussed and move forward. The town will save $110,000 annually with this project. So there is going to be a payoff period at a point in the future, depending on where you guys decide to go.
So since we're still trying to figure out the design, are we tabling C and D?
Yeah, right.
I think at this point, Charlie, I don't want to speak for you, but you're recommending the side option. He doesn't want to lose any parking over it. I don't want to speak for you,
No,
Charlie, but.
that's 100% my thought was I don't like, nothing should impact the core business and that's the people coming. So that's where I was at and any option I could get to maintain those parking safely was what I.
No, because it's busy there, and I know it's busy.
It is.
Yeah.
And that is the $62,000 option?
Both,
It's
so
both.
C and D
Together.
Both of them
have to be
together.
together. So C is basically the material and labor to run all of the, you know, all the wiring to the platform, and then D is just the platform itself.
For the side of the building.
Correct.
Yes.
So do we know what it would cost for the front of the building?
Front of the building is basically not C or D, but we're still concerned that the mounting would need additional beam or support. However, we did pay for Barry Izett to come out and look at both structures to make sure that the solar array panel would be supported by the building infrastructure. So we're not being, you know, we're not paying engineering twice on this.
But it seems like then we're tabling it. So
I think the idea is if you guys want to move it to the side, C and D would be the approval. However, if you guys don't want to have it on the side, we need direction. Because at this point, Charlie's telling the engineers, hey, I want it on the side, let's not explore on the front, and I think, you know, that's a council's decision.
personally, I would like to see what it costs to put on the front.
Yeah.
Be totally honest with you. Sorry, Charlie.
They will,
That's a large expense.
yeah, no, I'm gonna make them explore every option that negates moving the parking, whether it's the clothing bin location, whether we can move the internal. PP&L that nobody's looked at, you know.
Yeah.
I gotta come up with a way to keep our operation safe, so.
Sure.
I understand the cost, though, I mean, I'm not. I understand.
I mean, that's our only option, it's the only option, but I would like to explore all the options.
Right, I mean. That's the only option we have in front of us right now.
So if you guys wanted to do that, that would be the cost, right? The front of it is basically, we'll see how it is to mount. Right now, I think I read an email where it's 24 feet or 24 inches, sorry, it has to be mounted up above the ground, even on the front. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's, that's what part.
So we would have to take this 32-foot long electrical storage area and mount it on the recycling center.
But we're gonna have to do it on the backside anyways.
Correct, and pay for a
Right.
platform, so. So we might be able to investigate, hey, it can go in the front, we can mount it to the building, or hey, it's a smaller platform, here's the cost. Is there any option to go C and D? And if not, what I would ask is just to table it at this point.
Yeah.
Or if you guys don't wanna do the side option, just vote it down at this point. But talking with Charlie, you know, he's here this evening, he was off this whole week, so, you know, there's a lot of staff support, and thank you, Charlie, for being here tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's not high enough to drive under.
No,
No.
no, and so the other thing that we wanted to talk about is there's bollards, if it has to stay in the front, there would be a bollard, you know, placed
Yeah.
so far away. I don't know, 8 or 10 of them.
Yeah, your cabinet's, about that 18 inches deep. You have to have room for a working person, it's at least another 2 feet. And then you have to have these bollards back a couple more feet, so that's what would have pushed the bumper of a car into the driving path
Right.
as is. So, but yeah, all that would have to be locked, you know. If it's out front and you have people pulling into it, you gotta protect it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe any bollards were part of the original diagram or plan, cost factors or anything, so that's us saying, hey, that's the safest thing you gotta do if we're gonna keep it there. So yeah, additional things, like you said, if you wanna explore what they can come back to with the front and the cost, I think we wanna lay out everything we say needs to be done at the least cost, you know, come out with the best cost option long term. Maybe the engineer has to look at our flow of traffic differently. I don't know. I'll work with everybody to get us the best cost, best feel, best placement, safe. And get it to happen. So yeah, I don't think we have all the costs to tell you right now.
Okay.
But to tell you what the cost out front is gonna be, I think you probably wanna hear it.
That whole wetlands in front of it,
It's Kitty Run.
They run
Yeah.
in front, so we wouldn't be able to expand the parking.
I don't get down there.
Yeah,
I know, they pick it up, right?
Yeah. What are we out of pocket for so far for this solar project?
I calculated it, in the email I think I sent, it was a little over 400,000 left for Sunpole Solar and ARK. So we paid like 1.4 million already in total. We have costs going to PP&L for the final hookup. They're scheduled to be at Public Works to get us up and running. So Public Works will be the first one, going forward, and then hopefully we can get recycling up and running. Some council members already know this, but the RTU bills are being held. We will be, you know, asking for those payments not to be paid, because that should have been in the original design. So I know council approved that previously for an $8,000 invoice, but just know those are being held until we can chat further on that.
I moved to table both of them at the same time.
Yep.
I moved to table, the change order for the solar panel project, both C and D. Second.
Okay, any other discussion if necessary? Okay, all in favor of tabling? Aye. Any opposed? Wonderful. Moving on.
Approval of the release and license agreement with Livick Civil in relation to the Fort McClure relocation project and approval of invoices associated with this project.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion?
So the only
This is-
update I can give you for the basketball and the tennis, all the items were released last week to Banesh. Banesh is still reviewing it. Our lead contacts were out last week, so they'll be reviewing that this week. E and F are before you here this evening to get that ready for the next relay.
Okay. Everyone good? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Yeah. Anyone opposed? Okay,
And approval for the release and license agreement with Livick to the Market Street and State Parks paving project and approval of the invoices associated with this project.
So moved.
Second.
okay, any discussion necessary? All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, moving on. Norman, do you want to present?
Could you present Jackie just to make sure everyone hears it?
Okay.
You would take care of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so recommendation from the planning commission to extend JKLM Bloom property subdivision application at 1005 East 8th Street for 90 days.
So move.
Second.
Okay.
They're still busy trying to get some of the county assessments done, and then that's why they needed the extension. It's taking a little longer than they anticipated.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Wonderful.
Okay, recommendation from the planning commission to extend TNS Realty LLC for their land development application for Midland Point for 90 days on 9th Street. So that's the development on 9th and Iron.
So moved. Oh, wait, we need to actually do. Yeah, so moved.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other discussion necessary?
That's over there at the old Classroom building.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Are they planning on starting anytime soon?
yeah,
Are they?
90 days extension.
I know, 90-day extension. Only been extended about 3 or 4 years now.
Okay, with that being said, all those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Wonderful.
Okay, recommendation from the planning commission to extend Livick Civil's land development art project application for 90 days on West Ridge Avenue.
Any motion?
So move.
Second.
Okay, any discussion necessary?
It's a little apartment, dwelling that they're gonna put on West Ridge, and they still have some back and forth to go through, so they just asked for an extension.
Okay.
And CSG is the developer.
CSG is the developer.
Okay. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Wonderful.
And this one I didn't about. Yeah, other than. Okay, approval to accept the fire escrow amount of $66,606 for fire damage that occurred at 525 West Main Street at Blaze property.
So moved.
Second.
So you're probably thinking, how does that amount get calculated? So
Yeah.
Chris, is a codes, guru. So in the ordinance, she pointed us to that. And the insurance company verified, the insured value was 500,000 on the property. So it's $15,000 per insured and then multiplied by 2. So that's how it's calculated.
Interesting.
So it seems a little light, but it's also based off of what the homeowner had in insurance.
Okay.
Okay.
They're planning on taking a demo on it and then rebuilding. So that's exciting.
Oh,
That's good.
wonderful.
Yep.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Wonderful. Next. We are adjourning to executive session, so if I can get a motion on that.
I got something yet.
Okay, and if there's anybody online.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I just had something, not in order to put anybody on the spot, but you've been sitting here.
Nothing publicly,
You have nothing to say,
nothing publicly.
nothing publicly.
Thank you for coming though.
Thank
Been through the
you.
ringer enough.
I'd rather hear something publicly, but.
My last meeting of attending. Nice to meet you.
Anyone online? Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion to move to executive
We
session.
did.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
MJ, you're welcome. The courts are now leaving your